What's going on, y'all? I know y'all got some questions, so I'm here for it. Let me take a look at that. I know you got some questions, so let's go. I'm here for it. Hey, what's going on, y'all? YouTube squad, squad up. So yes, where's Virgil? Virgil left out here a very, very sweet, kind, and loving soul. So you've been waiting for this all day. Yes, Virgil. Virgil was here, and the whole tribe, the three of them were here today. All right. You asked the question, can you help with dementia? Dementia is I would say if somebody don't have the capacity to listen and to focus on what you're doing, especially when it comes to hypnosis, nothing can happen. Sorry. I got Scorpio problems right now. Hold on. Oh, tight pants. How was my day? Thank you, Amanda, for asking that. My day was beautiful. My day was gorgeous. Can you explain the importance or significance of shape and colors? This is trust. Can you explain the importance of significance of shapes and colors? When you're talking about sacred geometry. Now, when it comes to that's a good question. Good question. We're gonna get to that. So you feel so left out. So shapes and colors are important. When it comes to sacred geometry, every single thing has a mathematical equation. You know, those mathematical equations are similar to almost every single thing that's around you. That's why we call it sacred geometry. As it pertains to colors, colors are what we call dimensions of a spectrum, of the clear spectrum. If you really shine light through a clear quartz crystal or anything clear, there's a spectrum of colors, which represents a different frequency, a different vibration. All right, it's very important because they all have their own place in this universe, and that's a whole topic on its own. I could go on and on with that. All right, so you got the evil out of her. You know what? She got the evil out of her. I did nothing but exist. All right. Have people ever had an animal past life? Good question. According to my experience, I have only ran into maybe 2 or 3 people who've had a regression where they became a guardian angel for a blind man, a blind woman, or somebody who was basically guided, who was lonely, or what have you. And souls don't regress into lower experiences, believe it or not. Our experience can be from plant, or what we call one cell, to insect, to plant, to animal, to human, and that continues on and on. We don't regress unless it's a specific goal of the soul. Y'all, excuse me. Let me just do something. Oh, God damn it. I just wanna be close to you. All right. Okay. So now let's get back to the questions. Damn, we missed it. How you got the evil out of her? And like I said, she got the evil out of her, not me. Did booking open up yet for the next tour? Not as yet. It's opening up next week. Squad up and like the channel as soon as you come in. Thank you very much, guys. If you like my content, go on YouTube, like, subscribe. When you do that, you change the algorithm of what people see. You know, it becomes popular. And by the looks of stuff, I see people who do things that are very much not even as interesting as this. Who got like 60,000 subscribers, 150,000 subscribers. And this is interesting. This changes the shift. This shift the consciousness of the human being, of going from thinking that you die and go to hell to something that's very different. And if you see somebody, if you know somebody who is who could use that, why not share it? Why not like the page? Why not share it? Subscribe. All right. So the question is, what happened that you didn't feel prepared for? Oh, so hey, mama. So when there's strong energies like that, that is not so, negative, if you want to use that term. It's basically alien, not negative. I mean, if you want to use that term, negative or negative entities. So I thought it was a dark force. I thought it was somebody dark. It wasn't. It was an alien species that's connected to her soul, and I didn't understand it until after. So I wasn't prepared for that. I was prepared for dealing with somebody, a lower entity. I banish them all the time, but I didn't expect to see a a lower an energy, not energy, an alien species, because that's what it's connected to for aeons and aeons. It has nothing to do with um, a demon. She wasn't. You'd think that she was possessed, but it was actually alien species, and I wasn't prepared for that. Is it possible that your dreams from past lives? Yes, that's the question. Yes. Um Dang. Again, I was watching Flower Child Yogi past regression session, and you came on again. Maybe I'm watching too much regression. Can you do the life regression virtually? It isn't as strong as it is in person. I can tell you that. When are you coming to Miami? Next tour. Hey, when you coming to New Orleans, next tour. I also have a New Orleans. Um, I think it's like a retreat that I'm going to be going to in New Orleans. It's like a woman something. What does the soul council look like? For different people, it's different things. So you choose your counsel. The counsel isn't chosen for you. It isn't like this set of judges who sit there before you be like, this is counsel and you are going to be wrong. No, your soul chooses the amount of people that you want judging yourself. Every single thing about you, you chose. All right. Can you do the live progression virtually? Yeah. Last night was wild. Oh, yeah. Last night was really, really wild. Uh, where do our prayers go? And are we praying to our own higher consciousness or the collective conscious? Trust, maneuver. I don't know who you are, but private message me on Facebook, please. Private message me, Astro Einstein. If you're on Facebook, do that for me. If you're on Instagram, private message me. I don't normally check my Instagram, but I want you to message me. You got a lot of interesting questions. So the question that I'm going to answer on this Facebook is this. They ask about prayer. So whenever you pray as if you're begging or you're asking, as if you lack, then that prayer goes absolutely nowhere. It goes into the universe as and manifests as something to create you for more lack. So if you ask, you be like, Lord of mercy, Lord, Lord, please send me a good husband. You know what I mean? Lord, just not even that. Let's just say you I don't want to talk about the husband part. We gonna get to that in a minute. Let's just say you talk about money, all right, and you feel a sense of lack. The universe will bring you more lack with your prayer because your prayer is a prayer that has the vibration of a beggar, and the universe creates more begging experiences for you. This is why no matter how much you pray, sometimes you get a breakthrough and it'd be like, damn, that money gone like that. And it's because the law of attraction, you can only attract what you vibrate. You can only attract what you vibrate. All right? So you be like, Lord, Lord Jesus, I come before you, asking that you just get rid of these bills, Lord. I have too much bills. Only you, Lord, can answer these questions. Only you, Lord, can answer these. I put my trust in you, Lord. Lord, please take care of these bills. The universe is going to send you some more damn bills because you're begging. You are literally living in the vibration of lack. And because you're living in that vibration of lack, the universe creates more lack for you. So there's a saying that says when you speak as if you're declaring and decreeing. Listen, if you're going to pray, I want you to say it like this: universe, God. Even if you pray to Jesus, I'm just saying, if you pray to Jesus, that's all up on you. If you pray to Jehovah, if you believe in Jehovah, and Jehovah is your God and personal Savior, then you're gonna say, Jehovah, I'd like to thank you for providing me all of this money that's in my pocket. I feel it. I feel like I am rich. And I thank you for that vibration that you sent towards me in my soul. My pockets are filled. My bank account is filled. My children's children will have money. I am blessed. Then you're living inside the energy of gratitude. And the universe blesses you with gratitude. So when you're praying like you have lack, you're gonna create a perpetuating cycle of lack. I just want you to know that. Say, what? Was it a reptilian? Yes, it was. Uh, which regression was this? So I can go back and watch it. That was last night. Deja vu frequently, what does that mean? It means that you're tapping into the Akashic realm. Deja vu, the Akashic realm represents, it stores every single thing that can happen, will happen, should happen, did happen. All possibilities is literally stored in the Akashic realm. Let me go to YouTube. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between both. Um, do you feel like you invest a lot of time in it? Oh, that's you talking. Is deja vu something you would say you experienced it already? Yes. Well, I would say deja vu is you tapping into the collective consciousness of what could happen way before then. The Akashic realm. Can you help pinpoint the cause of anxiety and help heal it? Yes, that can be done. And anxiety is a control factor. We could start from the fact that you don't have control over anything, and you still do have control over everything. Once you understand that, as oxymoron as that sounds, then anxiety set place. So when you have anxiety, that's the need to control the future. And when you have depression, that's the need to control the past. Both don't make any sense. Meaning that you can try to control the future, but you can't control it really, or you can. See, the anxiety is I should say, an ego-based illness, because the ego wants a certain thing a certain way, but the higher self is like, you want that? I didn't say that, no. I didn't put that in the, that's not in the menu. Why are you even looking for that? Hurt your head. I'm gonna check you out when you check me up in spirit world. All right? All right. So I hope that answers your question when it comes to that. Hey, my soul sister. Oh, okay. I'm still busy, but I find that I'm really drawn to these types of photos. I mean, posts. Maybe if will die down once I get it done. I believe so. Maybe or maybe not. Because people who have already done regressions with me still be on my post because they want to know more and more and more. Okay. After each session, do you meditate or do you do to recharge? So in the night, I recharge before I sleep, before I go to bed, and I recharge in the morning. I'm like an energizer bunny. Just keep going and going and going. Because my soul has spent a lot of lifetimes living in the center of the sun. It means that I have the ability to recharge myself. If you believe in reincarnation in the center of the sun. If you don't, then I feel sorry for you. Okay, interesting. Damn, I can't even get to the bottom of these YouTube questions. Uh, oh, good question, Justina Walker. The train. Okay, so normally, like I said, that was the most. That was really got my understanding about like um, the split of consciousness. Sometimes we have fragmented auras. If we experience a past trauma as a child, our aura, which extends about 3 to 6 feet out from us, literally, literally can have cracks in them. And in those moments of cracks is when an entity, energy, or even some form of consciousness from a particular person can actually enter into your auric field, attach itself to you, and continue moving on, even after you patched your aura. And in that moment in time, she might have experienced something traumatic as a young child that was not resolved, and her auric field was open to it. And that's can be the experience of what she happened, or what we call the split of consciousness. Let me go to Facebook. Sorry, because Facebook have the questions coming. Do you see what the clients see when they are under hypnosis? Majority of the times I do. I do. If I'm tuned in, I focus. Yes. Especially if I've seen before they had the session. Most people have already probably had lifetimes with me. What I do is I see in the back of my subconscious mind a lifetime, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 different lifetimes that we spend together and in a connection with each other. And I see that. And if it in tunes with the ones that they are in their lifetime, then I get more vision. If you're asking, then you're not begging. You say if you're asking, then you're not begging. So when you ask for something, ain't you asking for it because you need it? You don't speak. You don't beg. You don't ask. You speak. Tap into that godlike consciousness. Tell yourself, I deserve this. This is what I have. I have this. And you got to live in that vibration. What are your thoughts on manifestation? Manifestation is a part of what we do. We do that regularly on a regular day. Every single thing is created from sensing, feeling, believing and knowing, action, and it becomes for you. We manifest every single thing from a sensing. Let me give you an example. I did this before. This tissue right here, when it comes to manifestation, somebody sensed that there was a need for this. They sense. That's the sensing part. That's, you know what? I think that the world needs some tissue. It needs some soft tissue, not them hard brown tissue that I should be wiping people's faces with. And when they sensed that, then they felt as if they could make this. They say, you know what? I can make this. I know I could make that. I feel as if let me put some work into this. So that's the feeling. And then it's the knowing. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to get to know the information I need to make this tissue. And then they go and put in the work. And now the seeing part is because of all those 3 things that took place. Manifestation is just sensing, feeling, believing, and then it is in front of you. Every single thing is just like that. Every single moment of manifestation comes from a sensing, feeling, believing, and knowing, and then it becomes a reality. All right, I'm already exploring past life regression and future life bonds and dreams. Do I need a session still? If you want clarity, I mean, totally up to you. If you're doing it yourself, then hey, I know one thing. A brain surgeon can be the best brain surgeon in the world, but he cannot perform brain surgery on himself. Think about that. What did the suspect? Okay, ready, got that. Can you give us the dates in advance before you open? Bro, great. You know I can't do that. I gotta be careful. I gotta be fair. Anthony is her now boyfriend, if I'm not mistaken. No, and I don't know. I can't remember. Andrea's very good question. I was just typing out the same question. Do you think last night was rare due to those ladies knowing each other? Why was all 3 of them so strange? Well, because they come from the same bloodline of witches. That's why, you two, because they come from the same bloodline of witches. And they'll tell you that. And they are sweetie pies. When I say sweet, listen, look what they brought me. You'll see this? This is a crystal infused water bottle. Like literally, they brought me this. Y'all see that? I be drinking water and I be cleansing and purifying myself with a quartz crystal. Put my attention in this and I be drinking. I be like, listen, what you gonna do is, you gonna grow my junk at least 2 more inches. That's Scorpio problems. I'm just playing with y'all. I'm just playing with y'all. Uh, do essence twin soul follow you every lifetime? Sometimes you find them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes that twin flame essence would manifest in a different, space. It's according to what the soul wants to expand on. Yeah, I grew up with that begging vibration in a Christian household. Yeah, so Christian household, that would have you literally the feel as if you just need to beg. You're such a beggar, just so you can come back and put your money in that offering, because you you are you are investing in Jesus. When Jesus told you to sell everything that you got and follow me. Anyway, just wrote you on Instagram. Okay, thank you. Okay, definitely. I had to complete. I glad that you, Sierra, Sierra, exactly. That's a good thing that you did. Have you ever had women fall in love with you when you were doing those regressions? Listen, I had a problem one time. I had this young lady. I'm gonna tell you this. So she came out of the regression. Now, not everybody happens to this. I got in problems for this because this young lady came out regression, and you know I was basically writing my book, and I was like, can I go to a past life that we actually was lovers, because I'm writing a book called 1,000 Lives. And when she came out, she kissed me. She literally kissed me, and I was like, okay, kiss back. I ain't gonna lie, guilty. I kissed her back, and because I didn't want a relationship, she turned that on me real rough. At one point, I was like, she turned everybody in the Bahamas against me. And I was like, damn, I don't know if I can ever do that again. I mean, the Bahamas is a little bit more small-minded. No disrespect to the Bahamian people who are watching this. Our peoples are very small-minded. It is what it is. So why I kissed her back? Damn. What you want me to say? It was in the moment. I did. And hey, but I was like, hey, but boy, she turned it on me. So that was the question I got. I answered. I like to be very authentic and be very transparent. I really looking forward to you coming to Minnesota. I think you're awesome. Thank you for what you do. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for saying that. I always expect about, hey, Astro, did you earn a license or certification in hypnosis? Yes, I earned a certification in hypnosis. Tay Ashley from HMI, Hypnosis Medical Institution. Um, your teaching is really giving me a lot of clarity and understanding my journey. Thank you. I appreciate you for appreciating me. Um, was concerned that its energy be my weak when doing back. Okay, I'm sure I remember that. Can you go over the quadrants with us falling into psycho, narcissistic, schizophrenic, and sociopath? Okay, so each person fall underneath a quadrant. The 4 quadrants are narcissistic, schizophrenia, sociopath, and psychopath. You could either be a complete, okay, one of those 4. All right, you could either be borderline on the center, where you are neutral. You could be a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now, Shaquille asks, does forgiveness help your aura? Yes, it does. Of course, it does. So what you're saying is that when you meet the client, you pick up on their first negative energy on the good. No, what I'm saying is I am not just negative energy. I basically know exactly what lifetime needs to be healed, especially if I'm connected to it. But if it's a lifetime that, was worth for them that I was not in, then it's a difference. Right. So yeah. YouTube. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna be there when he says, "Have you heard of a jolt of energy in the stomach that wakes you up at the, out of sleep and is regularly occurrence, especially when laying on your back?" I've never experienced that. I've heard somebody talked about it, and that was a few years ago. I can't remember who it was, but I remember it was a client of mine spoke the same thing. And if they are listening, if they ever see this message on Facebook, if you know what I'm talking about, send me a message and then tell me what your story, and I'll get back to Mandala Born for sure. Calling those things that have manifested yet into existence. What are spiritual walk-ins? Good question, Cami Mick. Spiritual walk-ins is something like what you experienced just now, what you saw. And we are all fragmented portions of our collective consciousness of ourself. And this avatar that we normally, that we use can have just fractions of your consciousness. So let's just say you have I am Demetria Brown in this lifetime as Astro Einstein, as you know me. And let's just say I want my consciousness of my awareness, the collective of my soul, to experience something different so that I could be more expanded in another lifetime. I would decide on taking half of my consciousness and going into another lifetime. This is why we have some form of dementia and all this other stuff. Okay, so do quantum healing change chart placements? Good question, Tankabel. So, um, when it comes to the chart, there's no good and bad signs. However, there are signs that some planets are not comfortable being in. Like the sun is not comfortable being in the sign of Aquarius, neither is it comfortable with being in the sign of Libra. And but there are positives to that. So there's higher octave and lower octaves of every single sign. Okay. And when you have a quantum healing, that's a higher octave experience. That means that that soul, even though the placements may not change, the energy or the octave changes. So that's what happens. So we're getting deep. The priesthood kicked you out because you're a true Scorpio. So, oh yeah. Mm. Oh gosh, y'all got me laughing. YouTube, have you ever heard of, okay. Um, So spiritual walking, like I said, is when you are a fragmented portion of your soul, we call it fragmented soul, and you basically can have something slip in and share your consciousness. I know it sounds scary, doesn't it? But it happens. I've seen it happen in most in a lot of my regressions, and some of them. Will you do a session, whether it's on Zoom or YouTube with clients you've done past life regression with last year or two? Have they tapped into the gifts you've activated for them? Yeah. It's still doing it too. What does it mean when you dream you are falling and your body jerks, you wake up? Now, there's an old saying that when you fall, you dream when you're falling. That when you, some people when they land, they don't ever wake up. Now, what you're feeling is at that moment that when your soul left from spirit realm and literally zipped into your body, that's what that is. That's a recall of your soul being transported from spirit world to your physical body. But because your soul remembers that, it continues on and on having that dream of that. All right, so let me get a YouTube Facebook. Does forgiveness help you? Oh, yeah. Does quantum healing change your chart? We meant to that. So what you're saying is that when you met the client, you picked up on the first. Okay, I think we done did that. Thank you all for sending the same questions over and over again. Are you single? Because they're about to be. Do we have to have our sessions live stream, or can you just record it for personal use? So literally, what I do is I record on YouTube and I put it as unlisted if you don't want it to be recorded. But it's totally up to you. You can have, I send you the code and that's it. I don't force anybody to do any kind of live. Lives actually is like you paying it forward, because a lot of people are healed because of your experience. And because of your experience, some people are similar to yours. And the reason why you have this, the essence of, or the need to do the session with me, is because somebody did the same thing for you. So yeah, go to YouTube. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. What is it, man? Hey, Asho, what are your thoughts on demonic entities in the spirit world? Can they evolve, or do they stay that way? Now, the answer, Carrie TV, good question. They don't stay that way. They could either go, it's like a spiral, and they could either go down to the depths of that, or they could go ascend. Believe it or not, they have the opportunity to do so. Um, okay, next. That's nice. That's really nice. Say it's $40. I broke mine. Yeah, that's Scorpio energy, man. Do souls always enter this world in an infant body, or can a soul make contract to leave a body at a certain age without the body dying to allow another soul to enter the body? Jasmine, beautiful question. So I had an experience when I did a regression on somebody, and what they told me is that they didn't start off with this body, and I was like, okay, what do you mean you didn't start off with this body? There was another person in this body. And I was like, who's the person? Where's that soul? That soul transitioned. And I was like, okay, tell me more, tell me more. And it was like, what I did was, that soul wanted to experience something different from their higher self, tapped into themselves and removed themselves from there. And wanted to, and I chose to use that body. And I was like, so tell me something about your last life. And they gave me information about another lifetime that they lived before. All right. All right, guys. So that answers. I hope that answers your question. Um, so yeah. So an infant can, a soul can enter into the baby, into a baby from between 0 to about 3 years old. So I've been that's the most that I've experienced. You ever see those babies who like look like as if they're not even existing? They're just like, yeah, drink bubble, put breast in mouth, take a dump, cry when they're sleepy, and then go to, and they have, well, most babies do that, right? But sometimes you could tell when there's an essence of the soul in a child. Where can I find the crystal infused water bottle? I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Oh, you say you love my humor? Oh, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I can't get to the bottom of my questions. It's 6:06. My client is at 6 o'clock. So you can't just drop that on Aquarius like that. What you mean the sun don't like being in Aquarius? Okay, so okay, so there are signs that every planet likes being in. Okay, the sun is exalted in the sign of Aries. Right? It's in its exalted sign. It means it's worshipped in the sign of Aries, as impulsive and as about itself. It is very much exalted in the sign of Aries. Why? Because the sun is the center of our galaxy, right? Of our galaxy, and Aries like to be the center of attention, right? They like to be, hey, it's me, me, me. It's all about me, 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 me. Right. So with the sun being in the sign of Aries, it actually exalts that. So this is why the sun is exalted in the sign of Aries. All right. The opposite sign of Aries is Libra. And Libra means the shadow side of the sun. So the shadow side of the sun is where it's not shining as much as it should, meaning it doesn't get that vitality that it should be. And that's where the moon is not comfortable in the sign of Libra. So and the sun represents the father. And most sun sign in Libra, most, not all of them, based upon if their Saturn is in a good place, because Saturn also represents the father. Between the sun and Saturn, two of them together tells me about the father and the relationship with the father. What it does, most Libra signs have daddy issues. Most Aquarius sons have father issues. If they don't have their Saturn to be in a more comfortable place, they suffer from father issues. And this is why Libra women look for their father in a mate if their Saturn isn't in a good sign as well. I hope I answered that question about the Aquarius. I didn't mean to offend you. That doesn't mean you're super intelligent. You're some of the most amazing people when it comes to being in groups of people. But you get that issues. Anyway, can we record ourselves in your session? Yeah, but I record. I record for my safety, for my documentation. I record. So you can record on your phone, but I also record. Because I don't want nobody stick their tongue down my throat and then be like, he kissed me. Mm-mm. Okay, when there is a walk in and it doesn't feel evil, is it a bad thing? Uh, to me, good and bad are very subjective based upon who's looking at it. I believe that what is bad for me could be good for somebody else, and what is good for somebody else could be bad for me. It's according to the perspective. Good and bad are like heads and tails. You flip it, whatever side it lands on, that's what you see. Okay, next question. I go, y'all got me on all kind of question. When I die, will I possibly have to live the slavery days? Would you say, Karinke? When I die, will I possibly have to live the slavery days? We done lived that as a collective. We done paid that. See, the slaves that were slaves in this lifetime as black people, they were the Egyptians that kept slaves. They were the Kemets that kept slaves. And because they did that, they had to pay that over. So yes, yeah, we created slavery because we created slavery. Okay? The blacks who experienced slavery were also the perpetrators of slavery in the Egyptian times. Hope I answered your question. Okay, I got too much question. Can you explain a spirit realm and what we do there? So I've never really had y'all to see the whole what we call a life between life experience, which was coined by Dr. Michael Newton, of having people to experience spirit realm. Because all y'all want is past life regression and Akashic records, and you want to speak to your ancestors or your loved ones. But a life between life experience is where I carry you into spirit world and you get to experience every single thing about spirit world, from coming back there to leaving. All right. Okay, guys, listen, my client is here. I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to get your question. I hope. Okay, so I got one more. Hi, Asha. What advice you have for people who basically have spiritual value from their faith, church, but is torn and feel and believe it is more than what we were taught growing up? Okay, so I understand where you're coming from, C. Gibson, because I was there. I know exactly how that feels. I was the man that chain was broken from off the Plato's um, um, men in the caves. And the only thing you could do is do more studying, do more understanding, get to the bottom of why you felt. So once you start to not have be blindly led, like even when it comes to me, you don't have to believe anything I say. This is why I carry people into past lives so they could see for themselves as opposed to me telling them. You say you don't see DC on the new list. What happened? Well, DC didn't have enough votes. And at the time when I did the poll, there wasn't a lot of people there. And thank you very much, Kesia. You know what? Kesia McClendon. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. And I see what you be doing. Don't worry. I got you. I got you. All you gotta say is me who'll be saying the press the like button. I love that. I appreciate you for that. Okay, so yes, Plato's allegory of the man's in the caves. So now you understand a little bit. I've shared a lot of my time with y'all. Now I'm gonna be doing a regression. And let's hope and pray that she wants to go live. And we'll see. You know what I like to say? Another one. Now, y'all enjoy the rest of your evening until I sign on again. See y'all later.